So, everything that kind of happened last time was a bit crazy. Apparently, our good friend, Lyron has been a bit of a naughty boy and was taken away by one of the council members who apparently thought it was a really fucking good idea to arrest our goddamn wizard right before they sent us to the avium to do research. Luckily, the rest of the party was able to get together, and with our combined lawyer skills, we're able to convince the council that, fuck you idiots, we need the guy to get us through it. You can arrest him when the world is safe from the evil lava rock monster. They agreed. And then after that, we decided to move forward, gather ourselves with a nice brunch while we waited for Lyron to get a really tattoo to prevent him from, being a naughty fella. In the end, though, everything went well, and I guess we're getting ready to leave to the avium.
Ironically, that
Sounds
is all
about
that
right.
happened. Really?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
That voice every time. I can't.
Every week
what
we're
the-
just unprepared for it.
It's
Be
so
prepared for the destruction of Roko.
Oh,
Roko
by
the
the way-
Destroyer.
By the way, before I forget, I just wanted to run this by you guys. For the epilogue campaign, basically everything that comes after the module. I know you guys were talking about going to a treat, but I also am thinking about preparing a seaside adventure in an
Oh, that
archipelago.
sounds fun.
I mean, it's
I'll
most that, Michael, we can do both or multiples.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying it's up to you guys which ones you want to do first. Just let me know so I can prepare properly.
No, fair enough. Well, I guess we'll discuss that closer to the end, because I'm assuming we got
Yeah.
at least a few more weeks of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so you have two options. So as you all prepare yourselves, taking your long rest and getting prepared for the day, you had taken the time to gather what materials you needed. So for all of you, as all of you are ready to leave Elderheart, how do you want to go to the avium? Do you want to take a straight path there, or do you want to take the road?
We'll take the straight path. Roku will think time is of the essence with the giant fire monster encroaching upon the world.
All right.
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
Plus, honestly, we have yet to use the fucking roads. Why start now?
I mean, we did it on our way to Edelhart.
Hey, maybe we'll run into another sea
Yeah,
monster
that's only
from,
because the Adelhart, the straight path was the road.
Also, I think one of my bandit features, halves the time it takes us to travel through the woods.
Oh, hey, that's
Dude,
useful.
if we run into another random lake in the forest, Ian's gonna kill someone.
Don't tempt me.
The first one almost killed him.
Don't worry, we're quite a distance from that evil blue lake right there.
Yeah.
Fucking
Rufus
Work
is
as a
me.
devil right there.
Rufus is just looking over the map. He's like, hey, we can stop by this little lake here to get some fresh water. No! No.
Okay, guys, we're all ready to head to the avium. So we'll cut through the forest like normal.
Alright, sounds good.
Hi-ho!
Alright, if Casa is leading the way, then it will reduce the amount of time you have to travel. So I'll say, with her expertise and knowledge, it will take you about 2 days to get there.
I'll hand her the map, just so... Rufus will just hand her that. I'm like, okay, you seem like you know your way around the forest.
I don't need this. I know all the back roads around here.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, if we're on the uncharted path, how good is a map, honestly? We know which direction we're going.
Yeah, okay.
And we've already proven these maps are very flawed.
This is my own custom one.
Well, then
There's just like a single tear going down Rufus's eye.
Well, you can update it as we go along. You never know if there's another giant fucking lake or a death cave or something of the likes.
Fair enough. Well, we can sing some cadence while we're on the march. Or something.
What, like the chain gang or something?
Yeah, left, right, left. Something, I don't know. I guess actually it probably wouldn't make sense in this setting.
How about we're following the leader? Wherever
enough.
he may go. Ho-hum,
Yeah.
ho-he.
And then
Do-diddly-do-dee-dum.
just As we're just like all marching through the forest, Rufus is gonna take out his like violin and begin playing a beat as they're walking, doing the cadence. And everybody can take their 8 points of inspiring leader.
Woohoo! 8 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, Kaza, you're referring to your bandit defector background, right?
Yeah.
Just wanted to read that over real quick, just to make sure I have that right.
If not, I mean, survival checks can be made.
Bandit defector. Yep. Okay. So yeah, Kaza, you are able to cut down on travel time. But as you guys are moving through the forest on your first day, you are, Lyran, you would know that, based on the route you took to get to the Crest Mountains, you were kind of skirting the edge of what was considered the forest surrounding the avium. You are now going, you are now starting to head through the, what is known as the ancient forest, and this particular part of the woods tends to be a bit dangerous. You know that traveling through it can be fairly difficult. So, Cossack, can I have you make a wisdom survival check as you're leading the group through this environment?
This sounds like a bad idea.
Right, 5. So,
I mean, at this point, I'm just debating whether we should even try to use the guidance / bardic inspiration.
It wouldn't matter.
We're fine.
All right.
Nothing bad can happen.
So, as you're making your way through the area, the brush here, like, there's a thick layer of ferns, moss, brush, just basically all sorts of plant life just covering this terrain. You, knowing the roads around here, are able to navigate through it, but it is still kind of slow pacing. It's going to take you a little longer to get there than you thought, and as you are traveling along,
Cassette, are you sure you don't need that map?
Suppose
I
I
thought
didn't
the map
count
would-
for,
Cause
Oh,
I
the
swear
weed
we've
broken
passed
in
this
here.
tree at least 3 times now.
At that point, Rufus just trips on like a tree branch or something. Damn it! I keep tripping on this fucking branch. I keep not seeing it.
Maybe we should start marking our trail, just in case.
Alright. Rufus will take out his rapier, and he's going to carve like an X on one of the trees.
alright, you do so.
It slugs you and you die as you hit an int.
It's a tree ant. Oh, shit.
Alright, so, as you are traveling along through the forest, starting to feel a little tired. Not so much so that you need to stop your travel for the day, but, you know, you're kind of getting to that point. It's like, your shoulders are starting to hurt, you know, you've been walking for a while, you know, you're getting ready to hit that point of the day where you're ready to take a break. You see in the clearing in front of you, what seems to be 2 of these giant elk peacefully grazing in this sort of grove with a clear pond kind of in the middle. They seem not to have noticed you yet.
Hey, yeah, look, it's our ancestral primates.
Anyone want me to shoot dinner? No?
I mean,
No.
that depends. I mean, we did pack up well at lunch.
Yeah, we're fine.
I
I don't
mean,
know. Fresh elk jerky, pretty good.
At that point,
We're
Rufus's
fine.
stomach just kind of growls, but it's like, I mean, I think we got supplies for a day, but we'll probably, we could probably hunt if we're running low on the way back.
I mean, they're there.
Well, I suppose it depends. Are you going to help me with field dressing?
I know my
No.
way around a kitchen.
What about Nature's Kitchen?
Oh yeah, you can give me any of that wisdom shit. I'm the boss.
I can try
Um,
and lure it, but that's probably not gonna really help out, to be honest.
Can I try to shoot one of the elk?
You may. Make me a stealth check as you're approaching and getting in within range.
Guidance! Don't get him! Good!
Oh, Jesus.
This is what I'm
Hit it.
good at.
So, as Cosset just kind of like ducks underneath the brush, you all immediately lose track of her. Alright, Cosset, you feel fairly well hidden, and you are then your first range increment as you're sneaking up on these giant elk. You may make your attack if you so wish to do so.
Excellent.
14? Or 17. 17? That hits.
This also be sneak attack damage.
It would. You are very much hidden to them. Alright, 17 damage. So, as you quietly lean down in the underbrush, you notch an arrow and pull back quietly. Take a breath and release. And as the arrow launches itself true into the side of this elk, it stumbles for a moment, and then both the elk kind of rear as they immediately just start running in random directions.
Oh, drat.
That's a
Howdy do.
It is a giant elk.
Oh, it's a giant elk. I thought you just said elk.
Oh,
No,
damn, we could have.
Did I cut off for giant?
Yeah, I think you might have. I just heard elk, so I'm like a standard elk. Jesus, that's a.
That's a bulky elk.
I think
Whoops.
I think if I knew if it was
Sorry.
giant, I would have went. Nah, let's not fuck with the giants.
Whoops. Well,
No, here's what happened. We thought they were normal size elk, but it wasn't until she got closer, like,
Perspective, yeah.
oh, perspective, yeah.
Perspective.
I thought they were a lot closer than that.
sure, we'll go with that. But the two elk just start both north and south as neither of them seem to run towards you as they just boom, 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 and just are gone. My bad. I didn't realize you didn't hear the giant part.
Well, it was worth a shot.
It was. You did a healthy amount of damage to it if it makes you feel better.
If that was a normal elk, it would have been shish kebab.
Absolutely.
Well, now we just got an arrow. We're just in a random elk in the middle of the forest.
Well, we could. I suppose we can find it in the future and know we saw it before.
I know, but now I just feel kind of bad, to be honest.
It'll be a story to tell his brothers.
What happened? You sure it was a male and not a female?
Guy, what happened to you, dude? Oh, I grew another antler in my ass.
So as you guys ponder the tale of this giant elk may tell its brethren, eventually you decide to press onward. With the survival check that you got, you more or less lost a day's travel, so it'll take you another 2 days to get to the avium, but the rest of the day goes uneventfully.
Okay, second day, Roko goes,
Hey, Cassette, do you mind maybe if I take care of the surviving this time around? You kind of work together on this?
Oh, I suppose.
Gotcha!
so next,
Alright. Next, Roko.
I will use my let my gods help me in every sense.
Okay, gotta get myself a good Recycler, bless me and make my knowledge complete.
Alright, sure, go for it.
That did not do all my bonuses. One sec, I still got a D4. Didn't roll my bless for some reason. Oh, because I hit bless and not fucking. Then I got a D4 for 13.
13. Unfortunately, not enough. You're still struggling. You do make some progress for the day, but it's slower. And as a result,
Again, Rufus just trips on the same branch. Again.
give me 1 second to set this up. Hey, by chance, can I have a marching order?
Well, I suppose it's Cossette and Roko in the front since they're leading.
Ian is very close behind them.
Rufus will be in the back with, I guess, Lyran.
And then Tutu will be between Ian and those two.
Alright.
I'm assuming you were getting Arcadis marches still there, Andy?
What?
Or temporary hit points?
Oh yeah. We'll just keep doing cadence, I guess. Just something to do.
I will presume that you are giving that every morning.
Yeah.
So
As long as we just sing for 10 minutes, it's fine. We just gotta sing Final Countdown 1.5 times, and we'll be fine.
Or Freebird, or just the entirety of Freebird?
Yeah, but the first part of Freebird's kind of crash, to be honest. I like the second half where the guitar solo gets in.
So, as you approach a small grove, you see what seems to be a horse. But upon closer inspection, it is more than that, as you see this long ivory horn jutting out from the front of its face.
Oh,
As you-
God, Jordan!
As you see what seems to be a unicorn, and as you approach it, it does turn around to face you.
That is a fat-ass unicorn.
Alright, listen.
That's all I can say.
It's got some junk in the trunk.
Alright, listen, buddy.
I'm sorry.
I forgot to prepare a unicorn token,
I'm sorry, I was
alright?
just laughing because it's so short and fat.
Listen, this unicorn is happy with its body. You don't need a fat payment.
It's a short stack.
Alright, moving on. So,
Man, its horn is half its size.
Rocco
Alright.
sees the unicorn and goes,
Hi, how's it going, buddy?
and he will speak to it in Celestial because I know the language.
Hold on. Let's see here. Alright, make me a general, persuasion check just to see how you're coming off to it.
20.
Alright, pretty good.
I always roll good on persuasion for this character.
So as you approach it, you can see the unicorn, and in your mind, you hear what seems to be this feminine voice that says, "Ah, fair travelers. It has been quite some time since I've seen your kin around this wood."
No kidding. I didn't think we were that rare of a celestial beings.
By the way, guys, unless you speak Celestial, you have no idea what Rocco is doing. For intensive purposes, it just sounds like he's singing choir notes.
I don't have comprehend languages, so that sucks. Oh well.
Ian isn't even gonna fucking attempt to pretend he knows what he's saying.
I still have 2 unselected languages, I realize.
I just thought we were using like the standard and the languages of Humblewood. I didn't know we could
I
actually
did.
have.
I used every Humblewood language, and I still had languages left over. So I picked Celestial.
Basically, the common languages of the normal D&D world don't exist, but I found that the exotic languages do.
Yeah, so like
Fair enough.
demonic and abyssal and all that, because those demons and Celestial still exist.
I can't wait until we go to hell, literally, with our characters. It's just gonna be like Isabel in Doom or something.
I just realized I never applied the background to this character.
What?
Sorry.
How many skills do you have?
No, I essentially just picked skills.
No, in any case,
By the way, name's Rocco Turniger, High Priest of Recycling, Goddess of Recycling.
A pleasure to meet you, Rocco, though your gods are foreign to me.
Oh, really? Would you like a pamphlet?
You fucking would. Offers a pamphlet of recycling to a fucking unicorn. What are you gonna do? Just stick it on her horn?
You know what,
You can
Rocco?
hold it.
Roll me another persuasion check.
You're gonna not tell him to
15.
cry.
Not bad.
It kind of looks at you and it says, "I suppose I could take one," as you like have the pamphlet in your hand. You can just feel it kind of tug on it as it just starts floating over to the unicorn. As you can see it just sort of flip open. And the unicorn just takes a moment and goes, "Fascinating, young Tungir," as the pamphlet just floats back to you.
Very
Rufus is just
useful
gonna go over
god, up
to
and coming
Ian.
goddess.
Rufus is gonna go to Ian, just nudge him and says, "Is that a defective set of antlers or something? I can't tell."
I have no idea.
You know what, Ian?
And
You know
how
what,
is
Ian?
Wilco singing at it?
You know what, Ian? For the sake of your kind of history, I'll say make me a history check.
Really?
At advantage.
Really? Don't worry, I'm gonna roll shit anyway. 6.
You know, this is like some horsey with a horn. It's weird.
That picture I posted is what Ian thinks it is. It's just a horse with a fucking traffic cone glued to their head.
I did not see that.
What's your name, friend? Oh, I should say miss, I don't know. How do you identify?
I identify as a woman, yes. I am Belladonna Felix Seranu Felisa Kanu the Fifth.
Boy, it
Bless
must
you,
be nice to be able to say that in your head and not have to say it out loud. I'm just gonna call you Bella, if that's okay.
More than adequate. Now, I do not know what business you have here, though, but I do not sense malevolence from you.
Oh no, we're just coming through. We're heading off the way to the avium to try to save the world from an evil fire spirit.
Is that so? Well, you know, for sexy shits and giggles, roll me another persuasion check.
Nice.
I see. You must be speaking of some sort of prime evil entity.
Yeah, I
Fair
believe
enough.
it's called the primordial fire. Hey guys, what was that fire spirit called again?
I don't know.
Aspect of fire.
Yeah, the aspect of fire.
I
Why
see.
the fuck did I remember that?
I was too scared.
I see. Well then. As you see, the unicorn starts to walk over to you, Roko. Then a blessing to you. And you see it lean down its horn as it starts to glow.
Oh
No.
god, is he gonna stab him?
And Roko, you can kind of feel a warmth come from within you. And you have received the unicorn's blessing.
Ooh.
It is a
Ooh.
one-time use blessing. And essentially, once you activate it, you, once per turn, will regain 1d6 hit points for the next minute. Every round.
Okay, so it's called Unicorn's Blood. I'm just gonna put it in my spell listing here so I don't forget it.
Fair enough.
Blessing.
Yep.
And you
At the
gain
top.
one.
Yep. Sorry. So you can only use it once and then it fades forever.
Yeah, I got.
And once you use it, basically for the top of your round every minute, for a minute, every round, or at the top of your turn, for a minute, you gain 1d6 hit points.
Pretty
And,
cool.
and as the unicorn brings its head up, it says, "I have given you my blessing, young Matt Patch. Now go and fulfill your duties to the woods."
Thank you very much, dear Bella. Recikla's blessing upon you.
Just kind of nods to you. And then it will turn around and it will walk off into the woods.
Before it turns around, I'd like Ian's gonna offer it a rubber duck. Just hold it out to the unicorn. See how it reacts.
You step up,
Yep.
you offer this rubber duck.
Yep.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh, don't. Oh, I'm gonna fail miserably, boy. No. 13.
Not bad.
So you offer the rubber duck. And then, Roko, you hear in your head, I'm sorry, can you translate for me?
Oh, no worries.
I just. Do they want it?
Well, he wants you to see if he would like a rubber duck for you. It's kind of like a gift for you. He likes you. The sign of great respect from his people.
Fucking
see. I see. Ian, you feel the rubber duck kind of like float out of your hands as Roku, you hear the voice once again say, tell him I appreciate the gift, and I will cherish it.
If you squeeze it, it cracks.
Ian, you suddenly just hear, fascinating.
Yeah, they're really
Well-
neat.
Well, I shall treasure this gift. Thank you. As it kind of gives you a little bow, Ian.
This is now my second interaction with a unicorn ever in D&D. The first one, I was playing a lawful evil character and I got fucking curb stomped by it. This time they just took a rubber duck and liked it.
Two vastly different experiences.
Oh yeah.
Now I must be off. Good luck in your quest.
Thank you very much. Okay,
As
guys.
We'll turn around, walk off into the forest with rubber duck floating in tow.
Well, that was a nice unicorn. First one I ever met, to be honest, but a really nice person. Her name was Bella, by the way, guys.
What?
Hey.
You know what's
What?
nice? I don't get to use my celestial much. It's like kind of one of those languages that's underused that I know.
Oh, so that's what that singing was about.
Recyclia taught me it when I was just a wee little Mount Patch cub. He said I had the best voice in the choir.
Interesting.
He said, oh, holy night, the twice is to recycling.
You can stop right there now.
Nobody appreciates the arts. Okay, guys, let's go.
So, you move on with your day. You do make some progress today, so it'll take you about another day's travel to get through the avium. But you set up for the night, take a long rest, and on the next day... So, let me see here.
Boy, I'm just realizing Roko is like fucking decked the fuck out with that unicorn's blessing and everything else.
I know this is a bit unrelated, guys, but I'm sorry to interrupt, but so you know in the games how Nick was promoting a one-shot, right? Well, Nick asked us to roll for stats, and Cam got 2 really shit stats, and I got a really good set of stats again. And he's bitching at me in the chat, so I'm like, here, Cam, I'll just roll for you. And he says, Andrew, don't you fucking dare. And I got him an 8. I got him an 18, a 15, a 14, a 13, a 12, and a 9.
Can I take that stat array? Thank you.
And he literally just, and Cam just says, fuck you.
In any case, head back to the game.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hold that. I feel really bad.
Alright, so as you guys are heading deeper into the woods, it's starting to... The trees here are growing enormous. You're talking about at least 60 foot high, and the canopy is dense. For the purposes of this, you guys are actually in dim light as you're walking along, even though it's the middle of the day. It is just a sea of trees at this point, and as you guys are making your way through here, let me see here. Alright. As you guys are making your way through here, You make your way actually to this clearing again because we're going to pretend it's a different one. Because budget constraints means I'm not getting 1,000 maps for this.
Wow, guys, did you realize that all this forest looks alike? No wonder we're getting lost.
Yes, very much so. And as you get to
I swear,
around,
it's not. Oh, sorry.
and as you get to around here, if you guys want to change up your marching order, you may.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Roko and we were still Cassette and Roko were
Yeah.
leading the way because they're the best. One is knows the woods, and the other one has a survival check.
Gotcha.
There we
All
go.
right. So, as you're making your way through, you guys moving along. Nothing seems to be bothering you today. There's nothing of note today. And then Roko, you're kind of noticing what seems to be a small pile of bones here.
Huh. What a shame. Those could be recycled.
Can I inspect what kind of bones they are?
Sure. If you want to move yourself somewhere around here. So as you bend down to look at the bones, give me a survival check.
Okay.
Oof.
Well, with a
Such is my
6,
luck.
well, with a 6, you can tell that they're definitely not humanoid. Maybe elk, maybe elk, deer, maybe a beaver. You got no idea. There's some stuff in here.
What you got there, Cassette?
Well, this is just embarrassing. I can't tell what they are at all, really.
Really? Well, I can take a look if you like.
Some kind of mammal, I suppose.
I'll take a peek.
Am I allowed to make a check, Michael?
I will say you may make me a check, but after that, no more checks to be made.
I figured. Hey,
Guidance. Guided by light. 14.
I was okay. Never mind.
14. A little better. One thing that catches your eyes. One of the skeletons in here, as you're doing a bit of digging around, it's a giant elk.
Huh. I think it's the one you nicked. It's a giant elk.
You don't say.
Boy, that arrow's got a slow delay.
And as you're saying that, suddenly, out from the trees, a creature jumps out and pounces on you, Roko. As you all
Oh boy.
see this.
Ooh.
It's adorable.
I love
Kitty.
it.
It's also a large-sized creature.
It's adorable. I'm gonna wear its skin like a hat.
As this is happening, it's gonna get a surprise round. So
Oh boy.
I'm gonna need everyone to roll for initiative.
Very cool.
Here we go.
Such calming music for combat.
Hold on, I'm working on it.
oh, I never roll
Yeah.
good with initiative with Roko.
You know what's weird is that I roll really good stats most of the time, but I can't roll for anything else.
I
Like
mean,
everything else, I just suck at.
to be fair, in Roko's defense, clerics going last isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
I find that on certain clerics, alert is a pretty good pickup for going first, because sometimes you need to get out those buff spells.
True.
Yeah.
Personally.
It depends if you're buffing or healing. If you're healing, you're better going last, because then you can see who took damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Meanwhile, I can't roll persuasion to save my life. Literally.
So,
Alright. So,
Lyron's surprise.
yep. Lyron, you are surprised. It is the Forest Prowler's turn. Roko, this thing just jumps out of nowhere, catching you off guard. First things first, it is going to attempt to make a claw attack at you. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
Alright. And as it jumps out at you, I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
10. I'm knocked prone.
Indeed, you are. As this thing just sweeps you off your feet, you take 5 slashing damage. And as part of its pounce, it gets to make another claw attack at you as a bonus action.
At advantage, because I'm prone.
Indeed.
Hey, Tutu,
Ah!
you're just in time for a giant, like, elk cat trying to kill Roko.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Let me roll your initiative so when you hop in here, you're good to go. Surprise round is going off first because this thing rolled fairly good for its stealth check. Let me see here.
Laura, quick question. Do you think Cam is genuinely mad at me?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just memeing as he does. Like,
I don't
think
know.
he's low-key pissed at the world right now, but I don't think you specifically are a problem.
I don't know. This seems to always happen, and it makes me feel bad every single time it happens.
Oh, man, Cam's got the worst luck with rolls. I've just learned to accept it and laugh at him.
I know, but
Alright.
but it's like it.
Okay.
Here's-
Michael's got it. Okay, go.
So, Laura, just to catch you up on what you guys have done, you're heading to the avium. You spotted some giant elk, shot one, they ran away. Then next day you found a unicorn. Roko got a blessing, because apparently he rolled God for persuasion for some reason. And then you guys are traveling on your last day to the avium, where you have now been ambushed by what seems to be a forest prowler. Not that you know what that's called at the moment.
And I gave the unicorn a rubber duck, and they liked it.
Yes,
I also
that
gave
is
him a pan flip.
All right. Second attack, Roko. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
All right. You take 8 points of slashing damage.
Well, there goes my temps.
Part of his multi-attack. Does a 16 hit?
Misses.
Alright, and it's gonna go for a bite at you.
How many attacks does this thing get?
Yeah, 4 apparently.
Damn.
Well, normally 3, but as part of its pounce, it gets to make one as a bonus
Yeah.
action. But
Pretty
anyway.
cool.
Alright, and bite. Oh wait, I'm sorry, it's at advantage. 19 for the claw attack?
That one would hit.
Alright. You take another 8 slashing.
Ooh.
And then for the bite. Since you are on the ground.
Goodbye, Roko.
Since you're on the ground, 18 points of piercing damage.
Jesus Christ. I'm almost dead, guys.
Oh, jeez.
And then
Alright.
Okay.
If I didn't have the temp hit points, I'd be unconscious.
Oh.
That did over 45 damage in one round.
That's spooky.
Jesus. Okay.
That's spooky.
Yeah, this
Does
thing-
anybody have the music playing? Just curious.
I got it.
Yes.
I got it.
Alright, I'm just gonna
Alright.
reload into the game.
you guys were all surprised.
Well, I'm dead,
And now-
guys.
And now,
Good night, sweet prince.
as this is happening, let me see here. There we go. Lyron, it is your turn, my friend. As the surprise is worn off, and you see that this thing is just clawing and biting at Roko.
Do I have anything that will help? That would be a no for me, Chief.
I got this. I can get Roku up.
I'm dead, man. No, I might be dead, man. He could literally just kill me here.
I think he got the extra attack as part of the pounce. So
He
I mean,
gets
I think
3
he only
attacks.
Gets 3.
He could kill me here.
Oh yeah, you're right. I
I
play in so many games where they don't do the auto crit when they're down.
Hey, Rocco, in theory, what's your size?
I'm medium.
Ah, fuck. I was gonna try something, but I can't.
Were you gonna try and
gonna
make
try
him
to-
tiny?
We're gonna try to
I was-
catapult him.
I was gonna try to rope trick.
I think the best case scenario genuinely is Chrono Shift.
Okay, hold on. I have a theory.
God, that is completely too apt. Where did you find this?
I
You
just
find a photo just like that.
searched
Okay.
Uber with raccoon.
I go next to Roko on the ground and I hand him a piece of rope. And I just say, hang on to this.
Give me a sec, guys. My mom needs me. If it comes to my turn, Ian's gonna rage and beat the shit out of it with the mall.
You could have just picked me up.
No, hold on.
So, Roko, as this thing is clawing and biting into you, Lyran just goes, hold this.
Shut up! Goddammit!
Okay, I hand Roko the reverse side of the rope and I cast rope trick.
Alright, post the
So-
spell.
So that end rises 60 feet up in the air.
You know what? And since you're not willingly moving, I will allow this. So, Roko, as you hold onto this rope, you just as you get flung into the air. If you want to mark your 60 feet up, please do. As you more or less just feel your flesh get rended as this thing, his claws are still buried in you when that happens, but you don't take any additional damage. This is for flavoring. But you get launched up into the air as you guys just see just bits of Roko go flying. As he's
Oh my
now just
God.
up holding on the top of this rope, and this thing just looks up, looks at Lyra, kind of confused, but snarling its teeth nonetheless.
I shrug. I am prepared for what's about to happen.
Alright, I'm back.
That was
Welcome
a
back.
very creative solution. I like that.
What happens?
Roko is now on the top of a rope using the rope trick. He's 60 feet up in the air.
Alright, it's the Forest Prowler's turn.
Hey man, that's better than 6 feet under, I'm gonna be real.
Byron. You
I
are
know
right.
that.
Okay, let's start clear on.
I also have 11 AC, so this is gonna be a real fun.
At least you got those 8 temporary hit points.
22 to hit.
No, weirdly enough, that misses.
Oh, you take 11 slashing damage.
There goes your temporary hit points.
Second claw attack. 16 to hit.
Misses.
7 points of damage to you. And now it's gonna bite you. 25 to hit.
Misses.
You take 13 points of piercing damage as this thing is like
Oh my god.
lashes into you and bites you. It will then. Are you still standing?
Yes.
Cool. It is then going to run away, and is going to attempt to hide as a bonus action. But let me see here. What's everyone's
15.
12.
12.
11, I believe.
I'll tell you when my sheet
Oh no, wait,
works.
10.
I doubt it matters because this thing is rolling fucking fire. As it is gone from your sights.
Well, that was weird.
Alright.
The thing's ready to
I
strike
do,
again. Everybody get ready.
I would love to tell you my passive, but my sheet is fucking stuck. Okay, no, 13. Okay, it didn't matter anyway. Cool.
Yeah, I doubt any of you could have beaten it unless you took the alert feat. But, 2-2. Roko is a bloody pinata and, and Lyran is a bloody, well, Lyran.
Rufus is just gonna. Oh wait, no, it's 2-2. Never mind. I'm sorry.
So charge. So for the feathered helm, it says you can expend a charge. Is that an action?
I
Yeah,
believe
because you're
you should-
casting this spell. That would be an action.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. I am going to cast Bless then on yeah, basically use my action to cast Bless on I'm gonna say Lyran, Cosset, and the barbarian.
All right. As you all see, the feather on Tutu's helm now glows with this sort of like bright light as 3 little globules just kind of shoot out of it, and then into the chests of Lyra and Cosette and Ian, as you feel sort of emboldening vigor kind of rush through your system.
Cool.
Let's-
Tutu, bonus action?
Since I don't know where the thing is, though I'm going to hope that Tutu's memory is decent enough to at least guess where it is. Tutu is going to rush this way to be defending Lyran at the moment. And that's her turn.
Alright. Ian.
Well, we all know. First things first, he's gonna rage.
Of course.
Yep. And then we're gonna run, because I'm pretty sure over here. And he's gonna swing where he thought it was.
Alright.
Reckless, all that fun stuff.
Alright, go ahead.
Whoops. Dang it.
23.
So as you go to swing, you find no purchase over here. It seems the creature is not here in this area at the moment.
Okay, well then, I'll wait here.
Alright. You wait there. Alright. Rufus.
Rufus is gonna go over to Rocco, and he's gonna just kind of cross his arms and look up to him, and so he's like, "Hey, Rocco, how's it hanging?"
God.
I
And
will
then
cast.
Rocco dies.
I will. Just want to check one quick thing. Is it 5 feet receive healing? It has to be in 5 feet. Shit. Okay. Well, then I will just cast a good old-fashioned healing word.
Alright.
Tutu's gonna say, "Hey, squishies, maybe climb the rope."
Yeah, probably a good idea. He's gonna give the healing word to Rocco so he doesn't die, and I'm gonna look to Lyra and say, "It'd probably be best you get up there too." I'm gonna spread out a little bit. Oh, so let's see. I started here. So there we go. I'll spread out a little bit here and go here. Awesome.
Alright. Alright. You still have your action if you want to do anything with it.
I will give Ian the. I will also look to Ian, and I will give him a bardic inspiration. Congratulations.
Both of those are bonus actions.
Is it? Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I don't have anything that's really an action.
You could take the dodge action. You could.
Yeah,
Can
you
I
can always-
try to roll? Can I roll perception to see if I can spot out the creature?
I will let you do that, yes. As an action.
Dang it.
Nope.
Yeah, should have taken the dodge action. Oh well.
Alright. Rocco,
Well,
you're
fun.
60. You are feeling sharp, horrible pain, and now you're 60 feet in the air.
I will climb down 20 feet, so I'm 40 feet in the air.
Alright.
So I'll just.
Okay. I'm just gonna heal myself real quick. Recycler, help me. Thank you.
You get 8 hit points back as your god has heard your plea.
And I will hold a Toll of the Dead for that fucker when he appears.
Oh, you use healing word. Okay, yep,
yeah, healing
you're all
word's
good then.
healing's bonus. Yep.
Alright. Alright, Rocco. Cosette?
Alright, well, 2 can play at the stealth game, so I'm gonna go and try to hide in the shrubbery as well.
Alright.
Probably back. Yeah.
Alright. You may make me your stealth check. All right, you are feeling very confident that this creature does not know where you are.
Alright, and then I will hold a short bow attack.
All right. All right then, Lyran.
I'm shit at climbing and I don't want to risk it, so I'll go here and I'll go invisible.
All right.
Do you still have a healing potion from when?
Nope.
Dang. Okay.
Are you?
I'm
Ambush
using
break, okay.
ambush buddy.
All right. You get advantage on rolls. All right. All right. Make me a stealth check at advantage.
Nice.
You feel fairly certain that this thing probably doesn't know where you are anymore.
Cool.
All right. It is the Forest Prowler's turn. As Ian, this thing leaps out from you. Actually down from the tree
Ah, that's where it fucking went.
as it pounces on you.
Yep.
One claw attack. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
All right. Make me a strength saving throw at advantage since you are raging.
Very cool.
Don't forget your bardic
Jesus.
inspiration.
I
You
will
don't have
use
it.
that
He
bardic.
doesn't have a bardic inspiration. You used healing
Yes, I do.
word.
He has bless.
All right.
I
Bless,
do-
yeah, he's got bless with a D4.
I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Alright. Ian, you're not prone.
Yep.
As you take 9 slashing damage, reduced to 4,
Well,
Ian's okay.
Yeah.
He's a rager.
and now it's gonna take some more attacks at you since it did get its its pounce on. Does it?
I'm gonna use the first one because I spaced it on the actual pounce. I'm gonna use my reaction for the first one to make it a flat roll with my thing.
For the first roll?
Yes.
Alright, well, it still would have gotten a 17.
I raised my AC last time, and now it's getting one above it. Jeez.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Imposes disadvantage.
So that would make it a flat roll
But-
because it's at advantage
make it a
because he's
flat-
prone.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. So that's still would have hit. Does a 15 hit?
No.
Alright.
Nice.
Ooh. Double natty ones. And then it'll go for the bite. Nat 20.
Oh yeah.
At
Oh, yeah.
least you're resistant.
You take 35 points of piercing damage, reduced down to
Oh my god.
35?
35. Reduced down to 17, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Jeez.
That
Oh.
would have knocked me unconscious in one hit.
This thing is not a creature to be trifled with lightly.
Well, we're blowing it away. By the way, Cassette, fire away.
All right, your held actions. Go for it.
Huzzah.
Well, we figured we wait until the attacks were done. It makes sense. Oh, fuck
God.
this thing in the ass!
Kill.
All right. And roll that
And
stealth.
you
Sneak
double
attack.
your sneak attack.
Don't forget, yeah, roll it twice.
For both of them?
Just
No, your other guy automatically crit, but you gotta roll your sneak attack again. So just roll sneak attack one more time.
I
nice.
21 HP.
21.
Nice. All right, that's
Okay.
a hearty hit right there.
And then Roko's turn. As he will
Alright.
just in range.
All right. Roll me that.
1 second. Oh Jesus! Double nat ones.
Well, let's see if it makes a wisdom save. It does not.
Of course. Ping.
God damn it!
So basically what happens here is Roko, you feel the impact of your spell as it just kind of goes, and then boom, as an arrow just knocks it on on its ass for a second. It will then, Ian, you may take a disadvantage strike as it's going to run away from you.
Sure thing.
With a D4.
Yeah.
Don't forget you're blessed.
Yep.
You can go ahead. Yeah.
16.
16. 16 just hits.
17 damage.
Nice.
That was near max. God, I'm sweating right now. Holy shit.
If you got your ducky mole out, how high is your AC with your ducky mole out?
Ducky Maul doesn't do anything to my AC. It's a weapon.
No, I meant your shield, right? Because
No, I didn't have my shield equipped.
yeah, I know. I was just trying to figure out what your AC is because a 17 or you're 16, I guess, with your AC without your shield now, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Roko, what's your passive? Because I think you have the highest in the group, if I'm not mistaken.
15, but it used its bonus action already, Michael. Because it bit him.
You're right, it did. Yep, you're right, it absolutely did. Never mind. It will. Ooh, taking those nasty hits. It's gonna. Yeah, because it already ran away. So it's gonna. You see it kind of go above the ridge, and let me see here. How many? What was that? Let's see. I think that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. As you guys kind of see it, like kind of jump into the trees. That's its turn. As you see this kind of trail of blood just kind of leading towards it. 2-2.
Yes. I can see it still, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun because I can't, actually do anything to it.
When you don't have a ranged option.
Yeah. And I could throw a dagger at it, but that's about it. Let's see.
Yeah.
It looks pretty bloody, right? Let's see,
Yeah, you could say it is just about bloody.
Jesus Christ, this thing got
let's
a ton of
see,
hit points
1d4
too.
plus 5.
Well, I guess actually we're fourth level. Didn't take that much damage.
Sorry. I'm trying to get my brain in working order. It is not cooperating. I have 30 feet. Yeah, Tutu's gonna go. Hold on. 30 feet. Come get me, motherfucker. Throw the dagger.
Alright, you're just within range of your first range increment, so go ahead and throw your dagger.
Yeah, let me. So, bam.
Oof.
Ah, nope.
Just. And you just. As it just sticks in the tree next to it. As this thing just gets a. As it just kind of gives you this deep growl.
Let it.
Alright.
Tutu has no sense of danger. I don't think I keep wanting to use this thing, but I don't think I can do it if the creature's not right fucking next to me, so I guess I'm just gonna growl back at it. And that's my turn.
Just a small squeak.
Alright, Ian, you're on the ground. That thing fucking packs a fucking punch.
I'm going to stand up, and
Alright.
I'm going to walk 15 feet forward.
You can rock 20 feet, right? You're a barbarian.
No, I don't have.
Oh no, that's right.
unarmed
That's
move.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That's later.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! It's one out.
You have something else. Don't forget. Click, click. I wish there's no place like
Yeah.
home.
Yep. I didn't think to use it. My bad.
It still doubles your
Okay.
speed regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think to use it here. I'll do that and then move another
That's
30
fine.
feet. And you said it's up the tree, right?
You'd only get another 15.
You are right. My apologies.
It
But
does
still,
yeah.
you said it's up the tree, right?
A little bit. Like, it's still more. For purposes
Cool.
of combat, you guys can still reach it on the ground.
I want to drop my ducky maul and throw a javelin at it.
Alright, you drop the ducking maul, throw a javelin, go for it.
I'm gonna miss anyway. 15.
15 I believe that just misses.
Mm-hmm.
As the javelin lands right next to the dagger, as a
Yep.
as this thing just looks at you and goes, "Ah?" Not so much angry, just more confused.
Hey man, I tried. That's my turn.
All right, Rufus.
Rufus is going to go over there and he's going to look at this thing clawing away and says, "You know, I'm starting to think that this thing is starting to feline pretty bad right now." And cast Vicious Punnery.
Oh my god.
I hate you.
I hate it. I hate it.
Wisdom save.
Yeah.
DC 14 wisdom.
Dang it! It didn't play the GIF. I'm so sad. I'm
Oh
mad.
no.
This thing is a fucking legend among its kind. It is rolling fucking well today. 21.
Except when I roll a fucking
There we go.
1 on my damage.
God.
Still failed, but
How's? I can't see Lyran to heal him.
no, you can't.
Roko, how you-
I'm
Roko,
okay.
you
I'm
feel-
up in the air, man. I'm okay. Give someone's. You know what? Bless me, or give me a bardic if you can, because I'm about
Alright,
to
I will
unleash a guiding can on this fucker.
All right, I will look to Roko and I say, "All right, man, aim for the head."
Alright, you may take that bardic inspiration as Roko, it is now your turn.
Hey, cat motherfucker! Recycling says get fucked!
And I
Roll for
will
attack.
guiding can at level 2.
You can do it.
22 damage.
Alright. That's a lot of damage.
Recycling says and it shall be done!
Alright. This thing is looking really hurt at this point. Next attack against it has advantage.
You hear that, Rogue?
Uh,
And I will also climb down another 20 feet.
Oh, a natural 20. Jesus.
I'm gonna bash
God.
something
Natural
big.
20 and a natural 1.
And then double sneak
Sides of the same
attack.
coin.
Does it even matter?
15,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
15, 22,
Come on, keep
Roll
doing it.
again.
We gotta see what the max damage here is. Rolled again.
22,
No, that's right.
Just for the memes.
Nice.
26.
I'm gonna say I got this
Alright.
thing to the eye, right?
So, Roko, as your can slams against this creature's face, you can see it actually knocks out one of its fangs as it turns around and gives you a mighty roar in your direction. Kasa, you take that moment. How do you want to do this?
Right through the eye.
All right, as you hold steady, getting a good shot, seeing it through the brush, as the arrow right through this creature's eye, as it looks like it's about to pounce on Ian again. You just see the arrow stick as it just kind of like the momentum of it just kind of like, and the arrow actually pierces through the back of the skull, and you see this thing just fall over onto its back, dead in an instant.
Nice.
As soon as the creature falls over, Rufus is going to just clap his hands and say, "Well, it was certainly a formidable foe."
Tutu's gonna go over and do a victory dance on its corpse, even though Tutu did nothing to help.
Roko wanders
see-
over to you goddamn fucker! And she just starts kicking it.
Oh, Ian's way ahead of you. There's a ducky maul aimed straight at its head.
Well, hold up, we want to skin this bastard.
Well, I'm glad I managed to make something today.
Nice shot,
It'll
by the
truly
way.
be
That was inspiring, Kasa.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
it'll make a perfect tail.
I think Cosset and Roko were the only two that hit this thing. Oh no, Ian hit it. Never mind.
Yep.
I
Yep.
fucking hit it for like 17.
Yep. No, every damage we did
No,
was huge.
We gave, the rest of us just gave moral support.
Pretty
Kasa
much.
just, like, matter of factly pulls her arrow out of its head.
To be fair, Lyran more or less saved Roko's life.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was lots of support.
Okay, let's get this done.
Roko takes out his knife.
Let's skin this motherfucker.
Oh my god.
All right.
Let's turn off my
Captain
boots.
So, who would like to do the skinning, I guess?
Roko will do it. It's a survival, I'm assuming.
I'll
Yes.
give you advantage on it.
And I'll give you Bardic Inspiration.
I already have a Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, you didn't use.
Son
Oh
of
yeah, I
a-
guess you didn't.
I accidentally closed down my entire browser.
Ooh.
Okay, here we
I'll
go. All the buffs, blessed and everything. 21 plus. It's a D6 or is it D8 now, Andy?
D6 still.
D6.
22.
All right. Honestly, you could have said 30, and I'd be forced to believe you at the moment.
Really?
I could have got 30 with all the bonuses. Yeah, it would have been unlikely, but
37, Michael.
All right, with a 30. Okay, what was it? 22.
22.
Okay. With a 22, you are able to skin this thing fairly well. If anyone would like to make me a nature check to know what the fuck exactly this thing was.
Roko will also do that. He is already like expertised with that, so.
I would like
You
to
know
do
for it.
it.
Expertise in nature.
Oh, knowledge cleric. I get expertise in 2 not intelligence skills.
No.
Wow.
Ooh, only 11. Damn. Cause that damn good.
Let me see. My thing's still loading. Huh, that's weird. It's not loading the, oh, there it is. Okay. So what was your nature check?
Cossack got a 19. I got an 11.
All right. You have both. Roko, you're not exactly certain what this thing is. It's a bit out of your neck of the woods, but Cossette, you being a bandit who's traveled a wide breadth of the woods, you have heard tales of creatures such as this. This is a forest prowler. It is a incredibly deadly creature to come across, and not many who encounter them survive. You know, based on fables and folklore, that they're kind of almost considered a mythical creature due to their elusive nature. And as you're scanning this thing, Roko, its back is covered in what seems to be leaves. And as you kind of like feel them, it's more of kind of like a sort of very like, it's hard to describe, but it's kind of like if you had some sort of like scales that were just like very soft and flexible. That's kind of what this thing is. And and there are some people, like there are some communities who make it as a point of pride to hunt these creatures down. They are as sort of a rite among their villages or hunting lodges. Uh, as but these things are known basically as ambush predators. They will attack and disengage over and over and over again until they have weakened a prey to the point where they can secure a kill. And they are relentless in terms of securing their kill.
Well, this fucker wasn't very relentless, was it?
And that's why you don't travel the woods alone.
Didn't you always travel the woods alone, Cossack, before you joined us?
Well, I know what I'm doing.
Our
Usually.
survival.
Probably just avoid. Probably just avoid this thing entirely.
I traveled the woods for about a month.
I'm
and I
just
had
gonna
no
say
idea
too.
what
I
I'm doing.
also like to say Roko did save Cossette's life by going up to see the bones as well, because Cossette would not have survived that round of attacks.
Yeah, no.
Given their con, we would have had Baron 2 all over again.
Yeah.
Baron
Oh,
Newell.
so- okay,
It's so distracting.
So wait, so I'm weak against rock types, and Cossack is weak against leaf types. I
No,
see.
that's Roko's league. Ironically, Roko the Rock is weak against leaf type because it fucked me up really bad.
It's actually grass type. Sorry, Pokemon aficionado had to. But,
Yeah,
no,
but grass
Thank you.
type.
I was
not-
about to do it.
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh guy, not a Pokemon guy.
Yeah, the-
Sorry.
Grass type, yep.
Okay, guys, well, I got a pelt to this fucker, so I guess if we ever run across anybody, we can prove we're mighty warriors.
yes, so Roko, sorry about that. You gather its pelt, and the fur is very coarse and kind of rough. The leaves on its back are kind of like these soft like scales, but underneath that is a kind of a layer of a harder one, kind of giving this thing a sort of natural protection to it. you're able to collect its small, stubby little horns if you want. Its eye is gone, but you are able to collect its fangs. From based on what Cosset said, those seem to be those are prized trophies among those who hunt these creatures.
Lyron, quick
Fangs
question.
and
Lyron,
horns.
Lyron, quick question. Are you uninvisible again? Or invisible, I
Yep.
guess? Rufus will go up to you and he will cast another healing word on you. Just because you got yourself completely fucked up.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, by the way. That was a nice of you to save my life and everything. I owe you, buddy.
Surprisingly, you held up pretty damn well.
Take another
all
9.
things considered. And you know what? I'll use my Bardic Inspiration so that way you can use the Bind the Wounds feature. So what?
Actually, more or less full health.
Okay, then never
Nice.
mind. Then I won't.
Hashtag wizard.
Right,
How did you
I forgot.
survival? Man, I guess it's a damn good thing you had those temp HP too. Like that thing would have
Yep.
down anybody without the temp HP.
That's why inspiring leader is like one of the most broken feats, in my opinion.
You could always heal the barbarian. I think he's
Oh
down
yeah,
some.
good. Here, you know what? I'll do that. I will do that instead, too. So here you go.
In theory, we
Healing
could
word.
always take a short rest instead of spending resources, but hey, here we are.
Oh,
We could, but you know,
Yeah, we're on the
when's a
go.
tough party?
It's whatever.
Okay, guys, I think
Well-
we're ready to get going.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, can Cosset collect some of the meat?
Make me a survival check to see how much of it you can harvest without puncturing an organ and
Be blessed,
contaminating.
my child.
Those are my shit survival checks today.
No, you got a D4. I said bless before you roll.
Fine.
With an 8, you're not. This is a creature like you've heard about them, you know a bit about them, but you're not familiar with their anatomy. And as you're kind of like trying to harvest some meat, you feel something pop as you just hear a little bit of a sizzling as you realize you probably you just punctured this thing's stomach.
I blame
Here,
the
I'll give you a redo.
Alright.
Load back the previous save point. Try again.
All right. Just keep in mind, you do usually need to call that before I deem a
Start
success or
describing,
failure, but
yeah.
I'll let it go for now.
No, you make this
is going
decision
on
after
today?
you see whether the roll is a success or fail.
Oh,
Oh my
never mind.
god.
Never mind. You're
What?
right.
And it's still...
But
Do it again.
This is the fourth time I've gotten a 6 specifically for.
all right, do it again. Make sure your macro's not broken.
Well, I mean the other number's always different. A 7. That's better. One
All
better.
right. Yeah. No. You.
It's going
I
I
further
mean, you have
beyond.
bless, but hey, you do have bless. It could make a little bit of a difference.
We'll find out, won't we?
No.
Well, Cosette, there is no timeline in which you succeed in this.
Every day, Cosset turns into Varen 3 more and more.
Costa, you are not able to really get any usable meat out of this thing.
See, the
Rocco's just
reason why
watching her
Cosette
hack
is-
this thing up. It's like,
Wow, I really miss Baron.
You know, I just picture Cosette just like carving up this thing, and the reason why she's not getting meat is because she keeps eating it.
Okay, well, unfortunately the meat's a bit toast, but at least we got a nice pelt and some fangs and a horn.
Eh. Damn, I really wanted to taste what cat tastes like. Oh well.
You got 2 fangs and 2 horns.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that encounter done, you guys are you guys continue on your way. You guys continue on your way. As night starts to fall, you find yourself having a harder and harder time seeing through this dense canopy, eventually having to make your rest of the night. However, in the distance, you can see what seems to be a sort of glow of light, non-threatening. Lyra, you specifically would recognize this as a sign of being very close to the avium. You're gathering you would probably take about another hour or two's journey from this point after you rest to get there.
after we rest? Can't we push it?
You can if you so desire. Just keep in mind it is dark, and these are very dangerous woods in the dark. The only reason you're able to see the light right now is because you guys have used the nest charm to get elevated.
And most of us here don't have dark vision.
Fair enough.
But the night goes on uneventfully, as you guys may take the benefits of a long rest.
If I ever see another jungle cat again, it'll be too fucking soon.
Oh, come on. It was fun from where I was standing.
Oh,
From where you
yeah.
were standing.
This
How about next time you and me switch places and you see if it's fun?
Oh, trust me. I feel like 2 lifetimes I've already died. I don't know why.
You know, if it wasn't for the tender administrations of the council, that might have been the worst pain.
Wait, Roku, wait, didn't you get like a blessing from like the unicorn or something?
Yeah, I did actually. Really nice fella. Or fellas,
Yeah.
fellas.
What was the blessing again? I couldn't remember.
It'll heal me 1d6 hit points for a minute.
Okay. Ah, okay. Damn, that sounds
What
really
the fuck
useful.
does that? What the fuck is a 1d6 hit point?
It's God talk. That's how the
It-
gods rate a health pool. Like, you see, there's this thing called the greater health pool of humanity, or of humanity. And
Oh my
basically,
God.
Roko takes 2d4 psychic damage for breaking the fourth wall.
Rufus is like, yes, oh yes, I studied that while I was in college of the road? Yes.
Roadkill College.
No, that's literally what my college is called, College of the Road. We did it over Skype.
Oh my God.
Shut your mouth.
Alright, so as you guys, the tree of the nest charm sinks back into the ground, forming into its little ball. You guys make your way towards the avium. The rest of your journey, for the 2 hours or so that you're walking, is fairly uneventful. Eventually, though, you come across a large clearing where you see this.
you know what? That is the oddest fucking tree I think I've ever seen.
It's a
I'm gonna
tree.
be real. This perfectly screams wizard. Like all of it.
What, you mean
It's a
like the
tree,
floating rocks?
Alright,
There's a
so
whole lot to take in here.
as you guys are approaching it, you see 4 gigantic cylinder stone platforms float alongside several towers and spires in the air above you. These structures slowly rotate around a leafless and branchless tree trunk made from solid stone. The trunk towers hundreds of feet high, and the orbiting structures appear to connect to stone bridges which jut out from the trunk near its upper levels. You see 2 perch guard in sort of watch posts above the entryway to this petrified trunk. Lyran, this is a very familiar sight to you, and you have not been back here in a long time. As you approach, though, they greet you, and a moment later, you see, as you walk along the stone pathway up to the entrance to this place, you see what seems to be, what this spectacled raptor glides down from one of the balconies, and as they land, who is wearing these sort of robes, and they glide down and land about in front of you. Let me just get the. As you see this person.
And now we assassinate him. We were a hit squad all along.
She walks up to you all and she says, "My name is Raze Birchwalker. I assume that you are the party that we are expecting here
That'd
from
be us.
Alda. Good. The dean is expecting you. If you'll follow me, I can take you to his office.
Okay.
Well, sure thing.
I appreciate it.
Lyron, you recognize this person. She has been working here for many years, and while she is not a teacher herself, she is sort of a administrative officer, if you will. She kind of tends to a lot of the miscellaneous tasks and paperwork that needs to be done throughout the AVM.
Ah, the bureaucracy.
As she looks at you, not seeming to notice or recognize you, as you have disguised yourself at this point.
Poorly.
Well enough as she rolled a 3. Look,
I am a god of disguise.
You look
As
silly
she-
with that fake nose.
but as she leads you up towards the entrance of this place, leading you along this sort of large stone staircase that's running near these sort of stone roots. She withdraws an amulet with the avium's crest upon it, and from the folds of her robes, and she presents it to this giant wooden double door. After a brief moment, the symbols etched into it come to life, come alight for a moment, as the symbol is then in light sort of replicated on the door for just a brief moment and fades as there's a heavy crack and the door begins to part, revealing an interior lodge. Lyran, not much has changed for you, as you are one to know that the avium is very slow to institute changes of any sort. But for the rest of you, for the first time, you are seeing what seems to be a main desk sits near the far wall, behind which a scribe is busy with tottering pile with a uh, tottering. Am I saying that right? Tottering.
I mean,
Teetering.
teetering.
Teetering, tottering.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
tottering.
got it. You got
Piles of paper. Several chains and chairs and couches are placed around the room, around these circular tables throughout the room, which is lit comfortably by floating bracers containing magical flames. Portraits of wizened bird folk and a few humble folk hang on the walls, each one wearing robes familiar to those of your attendant and many of the other individuals you can see around here. Behind the main desk, you see what seems to be a spiral staircase that leads down. This staircase is flanked by what seem to be these large bird folk statues, which bear the likeness of a corvium, whose portrait hangs in the west wall. Opposite the staircase, a circular platform rests in its own cylindrical alcove. Professor Ray Birchwalker, leads the party into a circular platform and utters some sort of incantation underneath her breath. And as she does, you see a sort of light come from these glass orbs that are etched into the base of the platform as you feel it begin to slowly rise and picking up speed along the way. As you are propelled upwards throughout the tree trunk. A few windows occasionally sip by on the way upwards, showing glimpses of the woods and just how high you're traveling. A few moments pass, and the platform stops about halfway up the structure, and you find yourselves in an area next to a busy atrium. The professor says, "If you'll come along with me, we're almost there."
Oh, sounds good, Mac.
My name's not. Never mind.
He just says that. Get used to it.
Yeah, he even
Oh,
calls us Mac sometimes, so just and we've known
Sounds
him
like-
for like a couple weeks. A few weeks actually.
I've known
Sounds
the
like you
others
made-
longer than that, Rufus. Or at least
Yeah, I
except
know.
us up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
it sounds
it's a-
like your friend had. It sounds like your friend has memory problems.
Look, it's a term of
Hmm.
endearment.
What?
Well,
Like, buddy.
No, that's the one with memory problems. And Ian's gonna point to Tutu.
Tutu just looks up and goes, "What?"
Yep.
She'll turn to you here and goes, duly noted.
Who the fuck are you?
Gonna like lean down and just like, I don't know. I'm debating just picking up Tutu, but I really don't want to because I know that's what she wants. I'm holding it off at this point.
Alright. Tutu, as you say that, she kind of looks at you and she says, as stated before, I'm Rise Birchwalker, and I would appreciate it, young miss, if you would not curse in these halls.
I'll do my best to remember that.
You're
I
doomed.
appreciate that.
so no offense, but this ain't like any other tree I've ever seen, especially up top. Where are all the branches and leaves and all that?
The avium is a structure much older than most in Humblewood. The only known structure that is older than it that is still in use today would be Elderheart itself. However, the tree that once was alive here no longer lives, and thus we have preserved it through the use of the arcane to turn the wood to stone, so that the magical essence of the tree is not lost to the wizards and other.
Oh, you petrified it.
More or less, I suppose. Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
That's stone
like-
cold.
God damn it. No, I can't even think now because that hurts. I'm proud of you, Heath.
Now,
But I hate you at the same time.
now, there's no other introduction or no other questions. The dean is waiting.
Well, cheers. Thank you for showing us the way.
Ian hesitates to raise his hand for a second, but then decides not to.
So,
Ian's got a bazillion dollars.
So, as you and your companions, you enter into a small, round stone office. It is surrounded by all sides by windows, through which several spires and large circular terrariums can be observed slowly floating by. The many tables inside the office are filled with disorganized piles of books, and the desk is in a similar state of disorder. You see a Sibyluma peeks out from over the books, and for a visual aid, let me just there we go. You see this.
Fancy.
It is very fancy.
Boy, do you use a hairdryer to get your plumage like that?
Sorry. But as he looks over the books, he says, "Oh, please excuse me. I'm reviewing a few 100 theses from my students. Excellent work, but one does not tend to lose track of time. I'm terribly sorry." Lyron, you would know this individual well. This is Gabe Winsworth. He is the dean of this school. But as he finishes saying he's terribly sorry, he will just he will again say, "Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me clear up the mess for you. I don't want this to be a messy area. I don't want you to get the wrong impression." As he quickly starts closing books and starts quickly shoving them onto the shelves. He will move in front of his desk and he will go up to each of you and give you kind of a hearty handshake as he says, "Dean Winsworth, pleasure to meet you. Dean Winsworth, pleasure to meet you. Dean Winsworth, pleasure to meet you." When it gets to you, however, Lyron, he stops for a moment and he will just go. A look of confusion crosses his face for a moment, and he goes, "Lyron, my boy, is that you?"
I nod.
Huh. You look a lot different. I was expecting you to be, well, your silver fox self. But it's good to see you again. Though I will admit it was a bit of a scare to see you run off so quickly after the whole incident. But yeah, no. Then is then, now is now. And I've been informed by the council of your certain circumstances. I am very sorry that you're going to have to go back to them at some point about that. But for the meantime, you are here to do some work, and I'm told it is very important work. So he goes behind his desk, and he says, and he sits down and he says, "Come, take a seat, take a seat. I don't want you to be uncomfortable here in my office. Like I said, I want to make this a warm and inviting place and welcoming for everyone who's here. So, I would love to be of help because the council told me that whatever you're doing here is rather important. So, what can I help you with? What do you need?"
Books on alchemy.
Did you say alchemy?
I already know what he's looking for.
I think that's not what we're after. We're here
It
to.
isn't.
No, we gotta find out information about that stupid aspect of fire.
It's an aspect, and it's made of fire, and we are gonna be sent to deal with it.
Yes?
I need books on alchemy.
Why do you need books on alchemy?
I need to do alchemy.
I need to get the tattoo off my back, is what I'm hearing. That is out of character. Tutu is not saying that.
Gotcha. Well, given your circumstances, I'm going to have a chaperone watch you wherever you go. As he kind of points gingerly to you, Lyran. However, information on alchemy can be provided, as this is a fantastic tool for such a subject. But more about this other thing, though. This aspect of fire, what was it?
The incarnation of pure destruction and death that is threatening to destroy our world as we know it.
Fascinating. He
It's
kind of
also
puts
like a 20-foot tall fire giant that throws flaming rocks.
That does sound bad. As he kind of puts a talon up to his beak, he then goes, "Well, you won't find information on something like that in just any old library. Thankfully for you, the Avium was built upon the greatest store of knowledge in all of Humblewood. Literally! Lyran, you would be aware that the sort of sensitive and most powerful information is kept in the lower roots. This is where a lot of, usually only certain faculty is allowed down there. But he continues on saying, beneath the main building is the oldest structure here, a library with a collection of tomes, veloses, and manuscripts gathered from all over Everden. With any luck, there's where you'll find whatever you're looking for. Now, a disclaimer. Some of the tomes there are a little deadly. But worry not, our librarians are experts. They'll help point you in the right direction while steering you clear of the more
Hold up. When you say the books are deadly, are you referring to the information within them, or is the book going to try to eat off Ian's face, for example?
both.
Bold of you to assume I'm gonna touch a book.
Oh, I don't think you're gonna touch it, but it's gonna touch you!
Worry not, so long as you listen to our librarian's instructions, you should be fine.
Gotcha! So, flesh-eating carnivore books. Lovely place you got here, Deanie.
Well, I mean, that is the restricted section. No one's allowed down there unless you are specifically given supervision and have been given permission by one of the higher staff here, such as myself or Miss Birchwalker here.
Oh, sounds good. Hey, Rufus, how about a 10-minute inspiring speech before we go read?
I'm assuming he did that this morning.
I know.
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course.
No,
So
I'm
did
just
Cadence.
I'm just making the gag.
No, I understand.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to head down to the library with your permission to start investigating to see if we can figure out this aspect of fire problem.
Yes, of course, of course. Before we go, though, a few points of note. The the avium does have a certain list of rules here that I expect all of you to follow. You may be here on important research, however, I do have standards that I need to be keeping in this place.
Oh, of
And
course.
um, now, for the meantime, as he kind of pulls out a box, and as he opens it up, you can all see what seem to be 6 amulets prepared, kind of laying on a cushion inside the box. And he says, if you will take this is a sort of guest amulet here that should give you limited access to the grounds here, so you should be free to roam in many of the places the avium has to offer. I understand the importance of your mission, so I will do my best to help you. Now, I assume you've had a long journey here, so these amulets here will give you access to the dormitory chambers where rooms have specifically been prepared for you. The room, we've made sure to stock the right number of beds. You're free to go to the
Right back.
cafeteria to. You're free to go to the cafeteria to grab food. You are free to sit in on any of the classes or lectures that are being attended here, with the exception of you, as he again points to you, Lyran. I've been specifically instructed to not let you anywhere near anything involving the School of Necromancy. So, as for the moment, you are currently banned from that, but otherwise have free reign to stay in any lecture hall you so desire. For the duration of any lectures, just again be respectful of the class that is being attended there, and do not disturb it, as the students here are, trying their best to learn and be the next generation of mages in Humblewood.
Right, well, I mean, the classes sound great and all, but I think we really just want to find out what this aspect of fire is about.
Oh, yes, of course. Just wanted to make sure that you're aware that you are free to roam around the facility as you wish. I'm assuming this research will take a while, and, well, believe you and me, researching one subject for hours, well, gets a little tiring and can fry the brain a little bit, so you're free to wander around a little bit if you so desire or need a
Oh,
break.
yes, of course. By the way, if you're looking for new knowledge, would you like a pamphlet?
A pamphlet? What?
About the great goddess Recyclia.
Handsome
Well, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one before. Here, as he takes the pamphlet from you.
She's a great up-and-comer. Real great goddess.
As he kind of looks over the pamphlet, opens it up, and you can see his eyes just very quickly, as this guy just very rapidly reading through it. As it just takes a moment, folds the pamphlet back up, puts it on the side of his desk, and says, "Very fascinating. You'll have to tell me more about this goddess of yours at another point in the future, if you have the time, of course."
Of course. I'm sure we can work in between some breaks between the hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of researching.
Sorry about that. I think I've got dinner.
Oh, that'd be most delightful. I'd be more than happy to chronologue your goddess's influence upon the world and all that. It is, but like I said, you are free to roam. If you head down towards the library, Miss Birchwood here will escort you down if once we're done here. You may speak to the librarian. He can start helping you get acquainted to your new surroundings in terms of the research hall down there, and you should be on your way to solving this mystery. I would like to speak to you, though, as he points to Lyran. Before, in private, if it's all the same to you.
I shrug.
Very well. Now, I believe that's everything. Miss Birchwood, if you will all just wait outside, this shouldn't be very long.
Okay.
All right.
So, you all leave the room as the door closes behind you. Lyran, you're sitting alone with the dean. As he says, "I am truly happy to see you again, Lyran. It's been quite some time since you've set foot in the avium."
It does feel like decades, but that I'm told is mostly the trauma.
Oh dear. I see your misadventures have brought you some bad memories. Are you talking about this place? Oh, I hope it's not traumatic. This isn't a traumatic place for you. I want you to feel welcome here, despite your disposition with the law.
No, it was mostly. No, actually, it was exclusively the adventures.
Ah, well, I'm glad to hear that it wasn't us.
Yes, it was a fascinating little journey. I saw the deer decapitate a man in a single strike. First day I met him.
Whew.
Split him in half. Thank you.
Ah, yes, my bad.
Whew. That does sound frightening. Well, I'm glad he's on our side then, huh?
Well, it went downhill from there quickly and rapidly.
I'm very sorry to hear that your travels haven't been faring well for you.
I mean, it was a fascinating experience. I got to see most of the world, which was nice.
Hmm.
I
That
got
sounds-
to participate in a botched assassination that turned out into a diplomatic mission. Now, that was fascinating.
I would love to hear more about that if you would be so kind. But I would like to catch up with you at some point, though I do feel as though your friends are anxiously waiting. But I do want to extend a olive branch, I guess you could say. I'm very sorry for how things ended up here with you.
Oh, that's quite fine. I was aware of what I was doing.
May I ask what's the purpose of your darker research?
Just idle curiosity, really.
I see. Well, I hope, for all it's worth, I really do hope whatever issues you have with the council and law get resolved in a positive manner for yourself.
That's more up to them, really.
Well, if things do work out, if things work out for you, you're welcome back to the avium at any point. Should your name be cleared and all that, it would be nice to see you roaming these halls once more.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, as far as the agreement I have with the council, as far as your staying here, you will be more or less chaperoned by Miss Bunch Walker as for your time here. If she is not able to keep watch over you, as he kind of snaps his finger, you see a sort of wooden humanoid sort of like person thing just kind of like comes to life almost as you see. As you see, hold on. Don't know why it's that big, but there you go. It's a normal size creature, medium sized creature, but you see more or less that. Lyron, you're familiar with what this is. This is what is known as a branch spectator. They're kind of used as menial labor around the avium, and it's they're also kind of used to like do things like mop the floors, do dusting, kind of keep things organized. They're not built for any sort of combat role or anything like that, but they're kind of just more for like housekeeping purposes and whatnot.
It's a non-ethereal unseen servant. Neat.
More or less. So this branch servant will more or less be keeping an eye on you, and should you be delving into anything that you're not supposed to, it has been equipped to send a signal to me personally, so that if it fears that something is not on the up and up with you, it lets me know, and we can investigate things further. Fair warning, if for whatever reason it is destroyed, that is also a signal that gets sent to me, and you will find a very hasty push guard conversation.
Oh, that's quite fair. I would like to make a request.
By all means.
I will trust Rocco and Rufus to handle the history of the fire elemental. Can I get someone who is adept in alchemist supplies to help me with something?
It depends. What's the nature of the the help you're seeking?
Well, we are most likely going to be fighting a giant fire elemental. I would like ways to counter fire, as I have had magma rocks hurled at me before. I can attest that it is not a pleasant experience.
I suppose I could have someone whip that up for you while you're staying here. It will take some time, but I have a feeling your research here might take you a good while as well.
Fair enough.
Now, I do believe your companions need your help down in the library, as you are well versed enough in that particular location that you should have a upper hand on getting some research done. So, rest assured, I can help prepare for your journey ahead as best as the avium can provide. So, fear not. The council has given me the significance of your mission.
Very well. And I leave.
Alright,
Branch spectator in tow.
indeed.
Whee!
As you're leaving, the dean just says, "Oh, and Lyron, welcome back to the avium."
Thank you.
As you leave, the rest of you see Lyron exit the dean's office, and you see this. You see the same sort of creature follow him.
Okay, what sort of trouble did you get in this time, Lyron?
Oh no, this is a council arranged thing. It's a
Hi, Twiggy. Name's
It just
Rocco.
kind of gives you a like circle wave.
Ha! Interesting.
Rocco waves back.
So what's with the little live branch?
well, the council doesn't trust me within any modiker, so this thing, as well as the bird folk you saw earlier, are meant to keep an eye on me.
I see. Well, at least this time, it's just a little thing that follows you around, not a tattoo. Unfortunately, you added one.
For the sake of size reference, this thing is about a medium-sized creature. So you're talking around the size of Lyron.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So this thing is like twice the size of me. I see. Okay.
You know, you gotta get your perspectives right, but you keep calling me little, and I'm like twice your size, and...
I genuinely okay. That wasn't actually Rufus that did that. That was Farron.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yeah.
Because I genuinely thought he was like the size of an eagle, which are freaking huge compared to birds, at least. But
Okay,
apparently
well,
not.
library.
Yes.
So you're heading straight for the library.
Yes.
Hmm.
All right. So fuck, I'm just gonna call her Professor Birchwood or Birchwalker. So as Professor Birchwalker, again casts that little incantation under her breath. You can see the platform starts to lower, and as it starts to lower, she does say to you, considering you're probably spending a fair amount of time here, the dean, as he said before, is offering any of the facilities up to you. Should you wish to sit down and study something related to your mission here, you're also free to walk around. I'm sure Lyron could be more than happy to explain to you some of the facilities we have here. But just to give you an idea of what each of these places are used for, the central building is mainly where a lot of communal facilities are held. The dining hall, the infirmary, and more or less a lot of our classrooms are also held in the central building here. The terrariums are those floating islands you see there, many of which are used for specific fields of magic and research, or the recording of certain histories. Each of them are fairly large, probably around about 200 some feet in diameter, while one of them's only about 150. The towers there are also older structures that over the central tree. Some house more remedial libraries, small classrooms, niche subjects, that sort of thing. Usually only more advanced students go in there. And also some of them host our libraries and practice ranges for testing arcane theorems.
I see, I
Obviously,
see.
yes, obviously you've been to the administrative chambers where the dean's office is, along with some other faculty facilities. I doubt you're going to really find much use there besides one of us if something is needed. The dormitories, again, are part of this more uh, central hub here. Like I said, rooms have been prepared for you. Would you like to visit them first before you go down, uh, so that you may get acquainted with them?
I suppose we could take a peek quick and then head down to the library. What do you think, guys?
Yes, no?
Oh.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Michael?
Huh?
Did I cut out there?
Michael, can you hear us?
Slightly, but my internet is also going wonky, so maybe.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that.
I caught it all.
Same.
She's just more like explaining the facilities.
Now you cut out.
Pick up a single book before then.
Show me this.
No.
Pick up a single book, yes?
Yes.
Down in the lower library or the regular library?
I don't know. That's a question for Michael. Michael, where would uncommon consumable magic item lore be held?
Uncommon? You're probably looking in the regular libraries. That's not really restricted information.
Okay. Regular library it is.
Alright. We could head there first, and then you can grab your book, and I can take you to the dormitories. As she mutters something, you can actually see the platform slow down and start to rise once more. And she says, she pulls out what seems to be a pocket watch, and she says, "No, actually, perfect timing. We should be able to pop in and out real quick." As you guys make your way up, you walk off the platform, and you walk into what this seems to be the stone bridge that is basically leading out, and there's just nothing there. Like, it just kind of it just leads out to the edge of the outside of the main trunk. And she says, "Give it a moment." As you can see, one of the central towers just sort of align with it, and then stop.
And
Well,
now
that's
all of you know why I'm. And now all of you know why I'm so comfortable with just falling off of places.
Yes, we often recommend that many of the humble folk who go here learn Featherfall is one of their first spells.
Yes, the first couple of times I did it freaked everyone else out. It was a curious experience. I have had many a times where I have simply walked off of one of these just of the virtue of just walking and reading.
It's why we tend to, like I said, tends to be one of the reasons we recommend Featherfall be one of the first spells students learn here. But nevertheless, come along. The platform won't stay here for very long. We have about 20 minutes, which should be enough to acquire a book. As you all cross the bridge, you see what seems to be a smaller library. It's a circular room with multiple layers on it, and there you can see what seems to be a Luma man just kind of behind a desk, wearing a thin pair of spectacles. As he looks up to you all, he says, "Oh, hello. Can I be of assistance to you?"
I would like a alchemy potion catalog.
"Oh, most certainly. Student ID." As he says that, Professor Birchwood just puts up a talent and says, "Just put that under my name for now." "Yes, very well. Is there anything in particular you're looking for, or just general information?"
For now, just general information. I need to run that by my party.
"Very well." As he goes, he kind of gets up, and you can see him kind of take a ladder And on the first of these floors, kind of go to a book, and he kind of like starts. He kind of like starts placing his talents over the labels of the books or the covers of the books as he just kind of like. And then after about 5 minutes, he finds what he's looking for. He says, "Ah, here you go. Basic potions and alchemical supplies." As he hands the book to Professor Birch Walker, who then hands it to you.
Cool.
So
I
you may
will
add that.
start leafing through that.
So, she says, "Is there anything else you need while we're here?"
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Alright, if you all follow. Yes, as you all follow me to your dormitories rooms. Follow me. As she leads you across the bridge, and as you guys cross the bridge, you're going to see the trip was fairly quick, so that you could just see that sort of floating tower, just an island, just kind of hover there. And you get on the platform. It goes down until eventually you kind of hit some kind of like not the base of the tower, but kind of like just above it. And she says, "All right, here we are at the dormitory level. If you'll follow me." And as she starts taking you down, you see her take a left and then a right, and you can see what seems to be a series of small chambers, where she then kind of points to the third door on the right and says, "This will be your accommodations for the meantime. I have been instructed to offer the males of your group one room and the females another."
I have been instructed to give you TF2 drops. To them.
I'm sorry about that. It was just a text message.
You're but so she points to 2 rooms. On the left is the girls' room, and on the right is the boys' room. As you both open it, in the girls' room, it's a little smaller, but you see what seems to be a pair. You see what seems to be bunk beds with a top and bottom bunk. You see what seems to be sort of like lounge like furniture, so sort of like comfortable chairs. There's a little fireplace in there, nice rug, small like coffee table. On the side you can see what seems to be a bathroom. Fairly good setup here. And on the guy's side, you see a bit of a larger room, but it's a very similar setup, with 2 sets of bunk beds and a little more furniture, some more rugs, a little more rooms, and then but you still only have a single bathroom.
Tutu immediately proceeds to start jumping when she sees the bunk bed. Immediately proceeds to start jumping straight up onto the bunk bed, straight down, straight up, doing the Jervine jump thing.
Well, I suppose it's a girls' night. Cosset picks up a pillow and launches it at Tutu.
Roll to hit.
Yeah. With this, it's an improvised weapon, so make a strength check.
I'll say my, how do you say, armor probably doesn't count in this case, because, good.
Sure. Yeah, it hit. So, Tutu, you're jumping up and down as you land back on the floor. You just pillow.
I fall over dramatically as if I have been stabbed.
Direct hit. Man down.
No! Alas, I am dead.
A moment of silence for our fallen warrior.
I do a dramatic death kick and then cover my face with the pillow.
Now that I want to see.
God.
Guys, what are you doing?
Well, this is cozy.
Roko goes in there, gets into his bag of holding, and starts taking out his little shrine to Recycly and sets it up.
Always gotta keep the religion going.
Ian just slowly unrolls his ducky sleeping bag over the top of the bed on his bunk and lays down.
Point of order. That's for everyone. Who gets top and who gets bottom bunks?
Ian's getting the fucking bottom bunk. Do you think the bed can support him?
Probably not. That's why I was asking.
Rocco will take top since he's the best climber in the party.
I'll take top since I'm not the best at it, but I'm pretty dexterous, all things considered.
I'll take bottom, I guess.
Alright.
Girls?
Tutu's already put her grubby little feet all over the top, so I think that belongs to her now.
There we have it.
All right. Honestly, I was just curious. Yeah, as you all get acquainted with your living arrangements, yeah, you're free to do more or less whatever you want at this point.
Well, once Rocco gets all his stuff out, he goes, "Okay, guys, if you're ready, let's go get those books read. The world's not going to save itself."
What time is
Speaking
it?
of that, I just about found it. So,
Quick
Rocco?
question, Michael. What time is it in the world right now?
You're looking around like 10 o'clock.
In the
The
morning.
morning.
PM?
Yeah.
Oh, in the morning. Okay.
Yeah, man, we
Yeah,
got
you-
here bright and early in the morning, remember?
Right. Okay. I thought it was like it. I'm like, maybe we could wait for another nap. I don't know.
No, it's 10 a.m. in the morning, you lazy bastard. Let's get to work.
I wouldn't even be up by this time.
Me and Ian and Tutu to do much research, do they?
I mean, you got the second best int score in the party.
You think I use that for reading?
Okay, guys, time to get our research on.
All right.
speaking of that, Rocco,
Oh, yeah, Aaron.
we're both in agreement that fire elemental very scary,
Well, yes, that's kind of a given.
and we're both in agreement that the people who are gonna have to deal with the scary fire elemental are most likely us.
Yeah, the council seems to have a hard-on for us to do all their stuff for them.
Yes.
I mean, if you guys
So-
want, I could make an entirely new party and just run the campaign without you. And
I
you
know,
can hear the
Michael, we're
details.
just having fun.
Yeah.
So, if you want, Rocco, we'll take everyone else and have fun researching the history and whatever you can about it. And I'm gonna attempt to make a couple of these because I think they're gonna be very useful. And I hand you the page bookmarked on that.
Huh, well, I suppose if you need the time, we can get down there with the rest of us. Suppose with Rufus's help and the girls, we're probably fine.
It's
I'm gonna go on.
It's-
Sorry.
It's an idea I wanted to run by you.
Yep, you don't need any help though, eh?
I shouldn't. I have never done alchemy before, seriously. I mostly trifled with it as an off project when Varan was still alive.
Where's Wainwright when we need him?
Yeah.
Well, if you think you got it, I'll trust you on it, buddy. We can head down and take care of the research if you think it's best. I trust you.
Very well.
Tutu will just nudge Cosset and be like, "Come on, let's go get the books." You know what? I bet I can hop all over the. I bet I can jump across. Tutu thinks 3 bookshelves before they start yelling at me for it.
Oh, it's on.
I just imagine that this is how Tutu dies, as a swarm of death books just envelop her.
So,
Didn't even stand a chance.
just Lyron, you would know this, but you would know this. The Avium typically, in terms of its visitors and its students, is typically open for about 8-hour periods. To which point many of its facilities shut down and access to a lot of them are restricted. So things like the cafeteria tends to stay open a little later. Certain classrooms can stay open later with faculty, faculty permission and observation. but for the most part, a lot of the areas tend to get shut down for visitors and students after about 8 hours. So whatever you guys do for the day is most likely going to be within that 8-hour time frame.
What you don't realize, Michael, is you just handed me a boon because I always need to be chaperoned by faculty so I can be annoying as I want. Never punished, baby.
If only because the party helped.
You see, it's all part of my master plan.
Okay, so we head down to the library for research purposes.
All right. So
Tutu will give advantage to Cosset researching by doing that whenever that's an option.
Alright. So you will alright, so we're gonna split things up. Lyron, yours is probably gonna be the simpler task at the moment. As you explain to Birchwalker what you want to do. She will says, very well, give me a moment, I will have another chaperone more or less be brought to you, so you may inquire about alchemy. We'll take care of that first real quick if you'll all follow me. As she raises the platform up once more, she says the alchemy lab should be coming around here in just... bugger, we missed it. Alright. The alchemy lab will be coming around in another 22 minutes if you all want to wait here.
Public transportation, am I right?
Yes, well... We don't get this much campus space in the air without making some sacrifices.
Fair enough. It's economical. So
I mean, we're heading down to the library, Rufus.
fair.
But 22 minutes go by, and eventually you're able to walk into another building. Lyron, you would recognize this as an alchemy lab. You've been here a few times, though. You're not proficient in alchemy supplies, are you?
I don't think I am. That's the problem. I have the background sage, and that's about all I know about myself.
Sage, you get proficiency in Arcana and History, and 2 languages of your choice.
Yep, so I am not.
Alright. As you walk in, you see what seems to be a Gallus woman standing there. As you all walk into this room, and it's weird. There's this mixture of sweet, sour, bitter, savory smells just all hanging in the air. It almost makes you lightheaded for a moment as you kind of like first take it in. But you can see sort of a Gallus woman wearing what seems to be these goggles and a sort of like long sort of like apron of that's like on above her cloak. She turns around and says, "Oh, hello there."
Howdy. I
Professor-
am going to be annoying you for a while.
Well, I mean, you can't be worse than my normal students.
Oh, I beg to differ.
She looks over to Birchwalker and she just says, entertain him for a while. He's on work for the council at the moment, but he is to be watched. If he is doing anything that is considered suspicious in any manner, you are to contact the dean effective immediately. She says. She kind of cocks an eyebrow at that and just goes, "Alright, I suppose I could do that. What's your name, little fella?"
Lyron.
Oh, wait. Lyron. Hey, weren't you that kid who skipped out a while ago?
Yes.
Well, welcome back, I guess. Alright, get your ass over here. As you and Twiggy enter into this hall, Birchwalker looks at you. The rest of you says, We should leave unless you want to wait another half an hour here.
Certainly not.
Yep.
Might as well.
Yeah,
I
follow me.
begin annoying the living shit out of that person.
Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think it was a bad idea to leave him alone with one other person? Do you think we should leave one of us in the party with him, or?
Nah, he'll be fine.
Okay.
So, you all fuck off and leave Lyran and this poor woman to her fate. Just so I know I get a better image of what you're doing, Lyran. What specifically are you bugging her about?
I wish to A, know how to make the potion I am requesting, and B, help producing 6 of them.
Alright, so I just describe fire resistance potion, sir. She's like, oh yeah, the dean sent me a message earlier to start working on some of those. They take a little while to brew, though. Probably looking about a week for each of them.
Well, I will attempt to lend aid then.
Damn, you can't brew 'em in bulk?
You're not there at the moment.
I know, out of character.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, this isn't Minecraft, says Lyran to the ethereal voice in the sky.
You gather the rate she is probably brewing maybe about 2 at a time, depending on how well things go. It might take a little longer, might be a little quicker for each batch, but the school doesn't necessarily have all those resources to spend as. Well, we'll get back to that, why it's going to take a little while in a minute, but Lyran, you more or less get to spend your 8 hours today working with her as she's kind of explained to you the intricacies and kind of basics of alchemy. It's an experience, and as someone not familiar with this specific field of study, a lot of it's difficult to understand. For sakes of shits and giggles, make me an intelligence check.
We intelligence. Allegedly, I am good at those.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Alright, 22. You're kind of getting a hold of the basics. It's gonna take a lot more training than just, a couple of days or even weeks, but it's not a bad start. You're starting to kind of get the handle of this, and you might learn how to make this one specific potion if you kind of keep at this rate for a while. But just again depends on how well things keep going for you.
Cool. Well, that's me done.
All right, the rest of you are brought down into the lower levels of the chamber, back to the base floor. And Professor Birchwalker leads you to those 2 large stone statues of the Corvians that you saw before. The staircase near the entrance leads down to the lower library, and as she walks up to it, you can see her kind of hold out her amulet and mutter something underneath her breath. As you can see, the door starts again. That sigil appears, and the door kind of starts to split open again. And as it is, she just says, "This area is often restricted for students only. Faculty is allowed down here. However, you are being given special permission by the dean to study down here. You should. I will be placing you in the care of. I'll be placing you in the care of Professor Mordain. He should be more than capable of putting you in the right direction and assisting you in your research." As the door is open, she says, "Come along." And as you walk down the stairs, the lights kind of get a little dimmer in here. There's not really any natural light coming in anymore, but it's still well lit enough. We see here. Yes. As you get down into the library, you notice that there's a certain sort of stone structure, architecture that is been exuded throughout the entire of the avium that you've seen thus far. Down here, it seems a bit more natural, almost archaic. There's still like stonework to be had here, though it kind of twists and turns a bit more organically, so to say. As you get down there, you see what seems to be this sort of like white feathered strig man, older gentleman who's wearing these sort of like maroon robes with a kind of like handkerchief sort of tie thing going on. As you see, where is his thingamabobber? Here we go. As you see this gentleman before you.
Tiny glasses.
Tiny little spectacles, yes.
Can he even see through
God.
those?
I think
No,
he
it's like
missed
genuinely.
his contact lenses.
You know, you know what? I just bet like where his little beak is. I bet that's like his actual face, and like the eyes are just like tattoos or weird marks on his feathers.
Oh my
God.
god.
But yeah, so
Lord.
as you're reaching the bottom of this long and winding staircase, you emerge into a room that is filled with rows upon rows of large stone shelves, each containing several hundred books. Magical bracers illuminate the area, but the light strains to reach each and every nook between the large bookshelves. Like I said, the Strix sits right behind what seems to be a desk in the center of the room. As you approach, he puts down the book and eyes you kind of curiously, and he says, "Ashpo's last, if I may presume."
That's us.
Ah, yes, good. It's very good to meet you. I am Warden Swiftgale. I've been the librarian here for well over a few decades at this point. The dean has informed me that you will be coming and has requested that I help you in your search for whatever it is you're looking for.
Well, Bookman, can you point us in the direction of tomes on giant elemental fire monsters?
Kind of gives a cock of an eyebrow and just goes, "That's very specifically. May I inquire a
Someone
bit more?"
reverberating, by the way.
It's Laura.
Is it me? I hope
Yes.
Yeah.
How
Sorry.
How is it me? I have a headset in.
I think you fucked up your audio settings and your input and output are mashed.
I'm on a phone. God, let me switch over to the computer real quick. But okay, continue.
Alright. Well, we'll take this moment to take like a 5-minute break. Because I had to pee.
That sounds
I have
good.
to go and switch laundry, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, we probably won't be going for too much longer. I do have work in the morning, so I gotta.
Yeah, no worries, Michael.
We will get through. We'll get your research started.
Yep.
Hello?
I am collecting the Minecraft achievements.
Yo, Laura.
I have acquired a brewing stand.
Oh, Lord.
I love the fact that Roku was able to get a unicorn today, though, to read his pamphlet on his god. So much so that he was blessed by the unicorn.
My god.
Oh my god. Hobby.
One does wonder whether that was a pity bless. The unicorn just going, "Oh, you poor deluded creature."
Why is your brother's dog so full of rage? And yes, that was a pity bless, probably. I don't even know the context, but yes, it was.
He's angry because I keep grabbing his paw.
Oh my god.
I feel like the pity was given to Ian for offering the rubber duck, and them saying they would enjoy it.
God.
Oh man, Ro could be them and persuasive boys. Plus, he's the only one who could talk to the damn thing because he had the 20. I'm the only party member with Celestial as a language.
I still have 2 unselected languages.
You plan to select them at any point, or are you just gonna leave them there?
I don't know.
I will ask you to select them before the next session, just so you can't go, aha, I know this language conveniently.
I doubt Jordan would do that.
I doubt so too, but it is something I would ask of all of you, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'll select the languages real quick.
I mean, ironically, like I said, Rocco knows literally every Humblewood language in the game, plus one extra, hence Celestial.
God.
Okay.
Alright. Everyone back?
He needs to spread the
Yes,
word of Recyclia
I
to
think.
all the races.
God.
What was the demon language? One was
Abyssal?
Abyssal, the other one.
Infernal.
Colonel.
That's the devil language, actually.
Okay. Well, I'm
Uh,
done.
So what language did you pick there, Lyron?
Abyssal and Infernal.
Oh Christ.
Of course. Alright, sound off. Jordan's back. Claire, are you
Aye.
back? I'll take that as a no. Heath's here, Jay's here, Andy.
Hello, I'm back.
Okay.
Claire is here. Looks like we're just waiting for Andy.
We're always waiting on Andy.
Me.
Now the greatest thing is, if we ever run into a friendly fucking nightmare, I can talk to it.
Ah.
So how's the the forest prowler been? How's that?
The
Definitely
what?
an interesting encounter.
To be fair, that's a challenge rating 4 encounter.
Oh no, I believe it, man. It's just bad luck because I got the surprise round and got 8 attacks off before we could do anything.
Yeah, that thing was rolling fucking fire.
I don't know why I didn't expect it to hop into the tree. I didn't think it had movement left.
They're speedy little bastards.
I was like, I thought that was its movement. It's like, okay, cool. I didn't anticipate. Oh, it's supposed to be a fucking ambush predator. It's probably faster than I think it is. It's probably in the tree about to drop on my dumbass.
To be fair, it's in the tree next to you. It just dropped on your dumbass after that.
Yeah.
To be fair, something we could have done was just climb the rope, go into the extra dimensional space, and wait.
Valid strategy. Absolutely a valid strategy right there.
Yeah, but this way we got to blow it up.
Swear to God, I just
Look at the
fucking Gallaghered its
bloodthirsty
head.
cleric. Look at the bloodthirsty cleric and the peaceful necromancer.
That is
You got-
literally 2 times this week I've fucking squashed something's head like a pumpkin.
God. Oh,
Yesterday
man.
I did it to
Oh,
a
man.
zombie dwarf.
Alright.
You're giving
Alright.
me flashbacks to the fucking raccoon. God.
Alright, so he says to you, that seems rather specific. Could you be, or still kind of broad? I'm sorry, I messed that up. It sounds a bit broad. Can you be a bit
Aspect
specific
of
on what
fire.
exactly-
We're looking for something called the aspect of fire.
Could you so what exactly is it like?
It's like a 20-foot tall fire rock monster.
Finding that's going to be a little hard to find specifically. You might want to broaden your search a bit. Tell me, what sort of topics might be related to this creature?
Giant
Obviously,
killer fire snakes.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Give
I'm
me
gonna...
Tutu.
Tutu just starts T-posing in the corner and like putting like really bad audio out.
no,
Stop
you all
playing
just
with
hear,
Rufus's flutes instruments.
you all just you all just hear music in the air as after like 2 seconds of music, you hear the dean's voice just kind of go over. It's like, attention all students, just letting you know that guests are in the avion. If you see them, please leave them alone as they are conducting very important research. And as always, be respectful to those who are using the facilities here and do not pass through them unless it is absolutely necessary. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Okay,
As
well,
the
God.
music plays again for just a moment and then fades.
Christ.
okay,
Leave me
well,
alone. It was an accident.
how about history on the origins of the Ash Grove?
Scorch Grove.
Scorch Grove, that's it.
Ah, see that's something I could probably help you with. Let me see. Well, so you have the Scorched Grove. Obviously you're probably looking into elementals. Anything else that you're searching for?
Well, I mean, honestly, we're trying to figure out how to kill a giant fire demon that will destroy the world.
If I may suggest, perhaps look up, maybe finding information on the Great Calamity could be of use to you.
Sure, why not? I have a feeling this thing might be the source of the Scorched Grove.
That's rather frightening. Well, let's get to it then, shall we?
That sounds like a good idea. Lead the way, Mac.
Alright. So, as he starts leading you through these halls into the various books, he kind of starts giving you a little bit of the history of this place. He says, this place is one of the oldest known structures of Humblewood. This library here contains information gathered all around Everdeen, and it has been here for well over 1,000 years at this point. I will ask you, while perusing this library, please do treat the material here with respect and a gentle hand.
Of course. Of course.
Tutu.
Shelves!
I knew I beat you to it, Laura.
Oh my, please. Oh. As it kind of like starts rushing over to you two. Young lady.
Look,
I mean, we
hey,
have a bag of holding. That can solve the problem very quickly. Just shove Tutu inside. We won't be in here for longer than 10 minutes.
10 minutes later, we'll never have to worry about Tutu again.
Oh boy.
hey, look, I can get up to books fast from up here.
You don't have to worry. I can just get some of our brand surveyors to breach anything that you can't. But please, very carefully get off of there.
Tutu will just like step off very casually and then just, Jerby jump down.
Okay.
Just gave the guy a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
May I inquire, which one of you was the most responsible?
Unfortunately, at the moment, it might be me. Never thought I'd say that in my life.
He just kind
Probably.
of he winces and just says, I would very, very much respectfully ask that you all of you make sure that these books are treated very carefully. Some of them are, shall I say, falling apart at the seams, and while our restoration efforts have gone a long way, some of these books are very badly damaged and are very close to being lost to history forever. Please treat them with the utmost
Don't worry,
respect.
friend. Recycling is all about making sure things are preserved.
Okay.
I'll take care of it. By the way, just so you know,
Roko will just like look over and do like a quick mending.
I can mend if it gets a little torn, so don't worry.
Well, many of these books are. It's not so much that they can't be repaired or torn. It's the say if the ink were to be disrupted in any sort of way. That's a bit beyond the capabilities of that spell. But
Oh, yeah, fair. You guys ever thought of making copies?
we have made several copies. However, some of these books, how should I say, do not care to be rewritten.
Oh, yeah, these are the ones that try to eat people?
I'll make sure you steer clear of those ones. But nevertheless, here, why don't we get started on your search? And as he starts taking you throughout the library, we will pick up the efforts of your research next time.
Sounds good.
It's a good place to stop.
I'm gonna say Ian's probably gonna wander off at some point. Ian's gonna wander off at some point to go look for books on ducks.
Ian finds the one book that he
No,
needs to
what
feed
he
this
will is he will
creature,
find
and he
the
just
Eldritch.
tosses it aside.
No, he will find the Eldritch Horror book of Cthulhu, unrealizing it because it's got a ducky cover, and bring about the Eldritch God.
Oh my
Of
god.
Quackthulhu.
Quackonomicon.
Yep, he brings about the
Quack-
the
Quacknomicon.
the Quackonomicon, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
good lord.
Klaatu,
Alright,
Kawaka.
But that is where we will end the story for tonight.
Yoki doki.
Stop and record.